Hey everybody, this is Captain Fool reporting for duty, giving you my weekly comic book review. So sit back and enjoy. Alright everybody, for those of you that know the drill, I go over a bunch of comic books for the week that I chose to read. Now I didn't have time to read everything, so if I missed something you think I should have read, let me know in the comments below. Also, you may disagree with me on some of my choices. If that's the case, that's alright. Let me know below. Let's just try to keep it civil. My goal is to bring back the old schoolyard days, where we would be in discussing what hero could beat who or what comic book was good and not. And I come armed with my trusty notes, so you'll hear the paper rattle because I do it a little bit old school. I do my grading on a scale of 0 through 10, 7 being average as a 70%. So I'm using schoolyard grading. But that's not all. I also use the League of Comics Geeks to give you other people's views as well as a brief overview of the comic book as well. So let's jump right in. Well, welcome everybody. Before I get too far into it, I just want to say thank you for all this channel's supporters. As you can see them here, they deserve to be thanked. As well as thank you to all the new subscribers. We got a little bit of an uptick lately, and I appreciate that greatly. So now jumping in, we have Batman and Robin, number 7. 151 out of 159 liked it with a 4.1 average rating. I gave it a 7, so I didn't give it quite as high as they did. But hey, it doesn't mean it was bad. The writer is Joshua Williamson, and the artist is Simone de Mayo, and maybe that's where it is. The art was okay, in my opinion. It's nice to see the character Flatline again. Not a great character by any means, but an interesting character. The story pacing it's doing okay. It's progressing well. It's an okay issue, but overall, really, it's nothing special. The blurb says Flatline returns. That's the big thing, and as I said, is she really that big of a character? Not really, but as it was interesting seeing her. Batman and Robin are in the hunt for Man-Bat and shush. And their search is interrupted by the return of Flatline in a good way. You remember from the Lazarus Tournament. Hopefully, that's if you read that series. Just in case you hear the notes rattle and stuff, that's my paper. There's my pen marking so I don't talk about the same comic twice and screw up. The next issue I want to dive in and talk about is Green Lantern issue number 9. I think the cover was really good. Cool cover. 168 out of 170 liked it on League of Comics Geeks with a 4.3 average rating, which I gave it a 7.3. Once again, not as high as they did. But the writer is Jeremy Adams. Artist is America. Well, sorry, dude. I'm just going to butcher that. It says Hal Jordan's trapped on Earth. Yes, he has been trapped on Earth. Unable to leave the atmosphere, the Green Lantern looks for help from a mystical source, which leads to a mysterious gateway and surprising answers to the origin of Hal's ring. If you've noticed, there was a certain spot in the last issue that he noticed he was getting amplified in power. We're going to get that information of why that's happening here in this issue. It's good art, interesting story, decent pacing and characterization. Green Lantern fans, I think you'll enjoy this, but it can be a little hard to follow if you're a new fan that doesn't know the Green Lantern lore. So if you were in that case, you might want to do a little research ahead of time. Otherwise, this might just miss, you might not have a clue of what's going on. The secondary story, and it's interesting, they're not particularly great, but of course they are building up to a bigger plot point and a bigger storyline. So it's definitely, I think, worth reading and checking out. Green Lantern fans, get this issue. The next issue I dived into was Countdown to Assault Power with the Suicide Squad Dream Team. Yep. We have 103 out of 120 liking it with a 3.6 average rating on League of Comics Geeks. The writers Nicole Maines, pencilers Eddie Barrows. It says a new squad fights for DC's future and the next big step towards the cataclysmic event of 2024 is when Amanda Waller makes her move to seize ultimate power in the DC universe. Nothing will stand in her way, not even the future. Spinning out of the events of Titans Beast World, which I did not read, I had no interest in at all, comes the story of another character that I care about none at all, Dreamer, the precog dream walker who has run afoul of the most power-hungry villain in DC history. It says, with super-powered hero who can see the future on her side. Is Waller's Suicide Squad finally unstoppable? Probably not. We're going to have Harley Quinn, Bizarro, Clock King, Black Alice, and Deadeye for the fight. Not really a fantastic team there. I know they keep throwing in Harley Quinn and everything. Clock King's a nice touch, though. I think Clock King is a nice touch. Deadeye, who really cares? It really seems like it's off to a mediocre start. The team is mediocre, in my opinion, at best. I know the whole point is to get mediocre characters and give them a chance. Bizarro's a little bit interesting, but we'll see how he's treated. If you're not a big fan of Suicide Squad, though, I'd probably skip this. Now, if you're a huge Suicide Squad, you might check it out. Now, I'm not trying to be mean to Dreamer or anything. I just never found her to be an interesting character. I thought she was made just to, you know, support a certain group. But there is a little bit more involvement with her here that does make her more of an interesting character. So I'm going to give them that, though I only gave this issue a 6.9. I just didn't think it was great enough to make me want to go, oh, I can't wait to get in the next issue and read the 4 issues in the miniseries. Hey guys, today's video is sponsored by My Wallet. Yeah, I'm not trying to push any kind of wallet or pimp any wallet out. What I mean is it's sponsored by my personal wallet and the cash that comes out of it to pay for these things. If you want to help with this, you can hit like, subscribe, that notification bell. Those are great ways to get started. But if you find yourself in a position where you can help the channel more, we have a Patreon and a subscribe star down below that you can click on those links. And for as little as $1 a month, you'll have special videos and things to just you, music that you can get. Or maybe if you wanted to, a one-time donation just to help out, we have a Streamlabs link down below. Or we also have, if you go to the Patreon shop, you could buy a song for like $3. I wish I could put them a little lower, but that's the minimum they allow for that. So there's lots of options. Sometimes you might even see an Amazon link. If you want to buy anything through Amazon, click on my link first, then go through there. That'll give me a couple pennies, possibly that way too as well. So there's lots of ways you can help out the channel, because without you, it would not be possible. So thank you, everybody. And let's get back to the video. Now, the next one is The Amazing Spider-Man number 45. I have to say, I think the cover of this was really cool. There is some variant covers that are also quite good, but this one was quite cool. The Amazing Spider-Man number 45. 96 out of 113 liked it, with a 3.6 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, where I might get a little controversial hit here. I gave it a 7.6. A little high for me. The writer is Zeb Wells, artist Carmen Carnero. There we go. The gang war is over, but New York City will bear the scars for a long time. While Peter was fighting the war, other parts of his life kept on going, and the consequences will be felt here. Plus, the mystery is bubbling up at Ravencroft. I think it was a good issue. A new story starts here, so if you didn't read previously and you want to jump in because you weren't into gang war, that's okay. But here's the thing, I think we really need to fix this MJ mess. Her relationship part is ridiculous. I don't like her as Jackpot as a hero either, but it is good art in this issue, and at the very end, it looks like we're going to be seeing the Sinister Six, and that I'm looking forward to. Of course, let's hope that Zeb Wells doesn't screw it up like he has a lot of this series already. The next one I want to talk about is Avengers Twilight number 4. 190 out of 190 liked it, with a 4.5 average rating on League of Comics Geeks. And I tell you, I'm digging it too. I gave this book an 8 out of 10. Yeah, an 8 out of 10. Writer Chip Zdarsky, artist Daniel Acuna, which I probably butchered. The Avengers are on the run from the new Avengers as old enemies emerge. And what is the terrible secret of Iron Man, the Wasp, and what happened on H-Day? The cover is, this cover, the standard cover is cool. A lot of the variant covers are also quite cool in this. It really is a good issue. It's a solid issue. The story is building up well. Good art, good pacing in this, and the threat that is revealed was very, very well done. If you are a classic Avengers fan wondering what might have happened in the future, this might just be for you. I enjoy the characterization, I enjoy the cast, and I think this might just be one that you don't want to miss out on. Really, it's a miniseries. Check it out. Now, the next one, this was one I was a little curious about and wondering if they were going to screw it up, and I still am, and that's Ghost Rider Final Vengeance number 1. 88 out of 94 liked it, with a 4.1 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, which is higher than I gave it because I gave it a 7.3. The cover art is pretty cool, and there's some really cool variant art covers as well. The writer is Benjamin Percy, the artist is Danny Kim. And it says, who is the new Spirit of Vengeance? Johnny Blaze was bonded with the Spirit of Vengeance. Unwilling to be a monster, Johnny used this demon from hell to do good as the Ghost Rider. But heroism, can't speak, isn't what the writer was meant for. So who will be the new Spirit of Vengeance? And what will it mean for the Marvel Universe? Find out in this extra size first issue. Well, here's the thing there. We got him riding, Johnny's riding his bike, and all of a sudden, boom, like the power is gone and it's given to somebody else, which really doesn't make any sense. If Mephisto could have done this at any time, why didn't he do it in the future, in the past, I mean? And why did he wait till now? So that part really doesn't hold a lot of water there. It is an interesting start, though, to this new story. So if you want another Ghost Rider story and start from the beginning, this is a good one. It has good art, and it has good pacing so far. I just hope that they don't screw this up and take the Ghost Rider power away from Johnny Blaze. I'm sorry, but he is the classic Ghost Rider. And once again, they always try to promote these. And this is another issue I might be having with Ghost Riders. Now we're having tons of different Ghost Riders. When you have too many of them, you take away what's special from that character. So I'm hoping we're not seeing the end of Johnny Blaze as Ghost Rider because, you know, they got to throw in some, you know, different person, female or whatever, just to make it, you know, different, to please a crowd that isn't really there to buy comic books. So let's help by maybe making a book for the classic readers that have been enjoying the series. Now, next one I want to talk about is Black Widow in Hawkeye #1, where 71 out of 76 liked it with a 4 average rating. Writer Stephanie Phillips and artist Paolo Vanelli. It says the eyes of a hawk and the venom of a widow. I gave this a 7.6, by the way. Not quite as high as them, but I gave it a pretty high score. Even when Black Widow and Hawkeye had no one to trust, they still had each other, even though their paths sometimes diverged. So when Clint Barton is accused of a rogue assassination attempt that puts the U.S. and Madripoor at odds, a symbiote-equipped Natasha Romanoff, the Black Widow, thinks nothing of coming to his aid. Matter of fact, she wasn't the only one. It's just somebody else provided info and intel, but she could not really get involved. I'm not going to tell you who that is, so that way you can see for yourself. But as echoes of their past ripple into the present, it will take all their faith in each other and the lessons learned along the way to protect their futures. Yes, there is lots of bounty hunters that are hunting down Clint Barton. He's in trouble, and Black Widow comes to the rescue. It's good art. The story is off to, I think, a strong start. Yeah, really is. But there is more to this story than the writer is telling. Because when you look at it, they're like, well, he can't possibly be guilty. Hawkeye couldn't have possibly done this. But you find out, yeah, he says, I actually did. So why did he do it? Of course, they don't tell you that this issue because they want you to pick up #2. And I think it's just sort of a misdirect, and that's okay too. Good pacing, good characterization. I definitely will be checking out the next issue, and it has some pretty cool alternate covers that you might like as well. So Black Canary, I'm sorry, not Black Canary, Black Widow in Hawkeye #1, I think is off to a strong start and might be worth you checking out. Now the next one, we're going to get into more than meets the eye. We're going to get to Transformers, where this book is selling well from what I can tell. 251 out of 257 liked it, with a 4.6 average rating. That's the amount of people liking in things like Batman series and Spider-Man was at the top a while back before it started getting messed up with. So I think Transformers is hitting it big right now. So once again, 251 out of 257 with a 4.6 average rating. Liking this book. Yeah. So we have the writer, Daniel Warren Johnson, as well as an artist and a colorist, Mike Spear. Is that right? Yeah. Spicer. Sorry, Spicer. It's the end of a story arc, it says. One will stand and one will fall. The Autobots versus the Decepticons. Yes, we've been having a big battle for the last 5 issues, and the one battle, not the war, is over in this issue, but it's only temporary, of course. And it says someone isn't going to survive. Who will pay the price? This is an action-packed, brutal issue. I gave it a 7.4. I think very highly of it. But it's a thing here that I want to mention. Some people love this art. I did not care for the art in this issue. I thought some panel transitions were hard to follow, especially during the fight of what the heck was actually going on. But otherwise, it's great. The art could be better, but fast pacing, thrilling, brutal story. And the kicker on top of that is, what adds a little frosting on the cake, if you will, is more than just a brutal fast action. It has heart. This issue has heart. It has feel in it. And so it hits you in all the right areas. Fast pacing, action, caring about the characters, and having a lot of heart. If you are not reading the Transformers, I strongly suggest that you change that. We're only 6 issues in. Don't wait, don't delay, get on it and get the Transformers. I don't think you'll be disappointed. As long as you can get past the art. Some people, once again, love the art. I get it if you do. More power to you. Just wasn't for me. But that's my views, not yours. Let me know your thoughts. What should I have read? What should I read? Was I wrong? Did you love the art? Whatever it is. What do you think of the current space of Spider-Man, by the way? I'd really like to know. What do you think about Spider-Man? Is this just a big miss? I know a lot of people, including myself, I've not really been enjoying the current writer's run very much. It's hit and miss. I did enjoy Gang War. I'll admit that. But I think part of that is I enjoyed Gang War so much is because they left MJ alone for most of it. And now they're getting back into that. And I just, this writer, I don't see him handling the situation well. But thank you, everybody, for your time. And until next time, keep it frugal.